So we're here with the Fort Amherst Artefacts Group.
We are indeed.
And we've got something rather interesting and rather smelly.
We have
here.
Indeed. What we have in this tank is a 12-pounder practice shell, which probably dates from the First World War. It's what the troops would have used to practice loading and unloading the gun.
What, in safety? So
yes, so rather than using a real shell, they used this wooden one, and it would have had an end to it which has been lost, and it's got a metal base to it, so it will engage in the breech of the gun, and so you can open and close the breech, take this out, put it in again as many times as you want to practice. Yes. Yeah. Now, what we don't know is how it got into the River Thames, which is where it came from. It was recovered when the London Gateway was being dredged, the new container port in the Thames estuary. And Wessex Archaeology was given the contract for doing the archaeological survey work. Yeah. They recovered this along with a number of other artefacts, including a number of shells which we have elsewhere on the site. This was totally sort of sodden. It was wrapped in cling film when we received it. Yeah. Now, the problem is with wood that's been left in water for a long period of time, if you take it out and let it dry out, it just crumbles away to nothing. Ah. So what you have to do is to stabilise it. The first thing is to get the salt out of it, and what we had, first of all, we sat it in this bath just with ordinary tap water at 30 degrees Celsius and left it for several weeks to leach out the salt. Then we changed that over and added a sugar solution, basically put it in syrup, a packet of granulated sugar. Yeah. What this does, it dissolves in the water and is drawn into the timber, and it replaces the lost cellulose in the wood and hopefully will stabilise it.
So we're going to be refreshing that.
Yeah, what we've done today, we've taken the old syrup out, and we don't have smell vision here. If we did, it was actually pretty grim. And we've cleaned up the shell and the bin. We're now going to start putting water in again, add the sugar, and hopefully start cooking it again in syrup. Archie, would you bring in the first bucket of water, please? And gently pour in. And we're literally just putting in.
It's amazing, isn't it? So as you said,
a kilogram of
sugar is going to go in and replace the cellulose, or stabilise the cellulose of the structure.
It will, yes. It will stabilise the.
And what's that you've just turned on there?
Right, we've got to maintain a constant temperature of 30 degrees Celsius. And we did struggle for how we were going to do that. I came up with an ingenious idea, a tropical fish tank heater and thermostat. Now this would be better with the heat on, I must admit, because it's going to dissolve the sugar a bit better.
There we go, second bucket.
So you were saying you thought there would have been...
Yeah, there would have been... probably another wooden piece on there, and there would have been some sort of collar to hold it on to represent the shell. What we have here is the cartridge, which is the propellant.
Yes.
And then
what did you say the size of the round was?
It was a 12-pounder, which is the weight of the shell. I think the diameter of the bore is around 4.5 inches on the gun, around that sort of area. But for this type of weapon, it's the weight of the shell rather than the... Yes. And it does get confusing because different guns are regarded in different ways. Yes. Like, for instance, we've got a Bofors gun anti-aircraft shell, which is a 40mm. That is a 40mm. Yeah, that's on the bore of the barrel. And the large naval guns were always measured by the diameter of the bore, the largest being 15 inch. Yes, yes. But for this particular weapon, it was the weight of the shell.
We do have a Bofors.
We do have a Bofors barrel laying down here. Yes. In fact, I might even be able to, I don't know.
Not every day.
If I can-
see both of them.
I think I may need to pick up a glove for this. It has been done, hasn't it? That one?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Right, this is a cutaway Beaufort shell, and that's the side that hasn't been cut away, and that would be a nice snug fit into the barrel. You can see these rings here. This is where it fitted into the brass cartridge case we had the explosives to send it on its way.
Oh yes, to create a gas seal. Those.
Yes.
So now we've got it in the bath. What's next?
Right, we're going to leave it there now for at least a month, and then we will check to see how it's doing.
Yeah.
And the only way we can do that is to take it out of the bath, let it dry a little bit, and see what's happened to the surface of the wood.
Okay.
And the problem is, this is not precise science. You can't say leave it in for X number of weeks and it'll be perfectly all right. It depends on the amount of salt that went into it, how long it's been in the water, what type of wood it is. Hard wood is harder to consolidate than soft wood, and there's lots of factors here. But basically, if you take it out and it doesn't start to crumble when it dries out, you're onto a good one. Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah.